Hello, we're only a few days off the beginning of spring here at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom. This is a bucket of soil from my winter composting rack. If you're a follower of my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about when I mention winter composting. But in case you're not, what I tend to do is at the end of the summer months when we're harvesting vegetables, we finish up with vegetables to take indoors and soil that we've just emptied out of buckets. I pop it straight back in, and in the autumn of the year I'll cover it with a layer of chop and drop, which comprises in the main of seaweed, leaves and grass, all free to the gardener. The soil is free to the gardener. My garden's full of the stuff, and that's what this is: garden soil with a layer of chop and drop popped on it at the back end of the year to overwinter. And this is the first one off the rack this year. Now I think I've also likened this to free range vermiculture. Vermiculture is all about keeping worms in a containment because they produce something that's good for the garden, good for the soil. But I like to think that the worms in here are much happier and doing a better job and cost nothing. They're garden worms. I haven't actually spent anything to do this. And let me show you this. This is all that's left of that chop and drop. That's all that's left on the top of this bucket. Now this bucket was filled to probably an inch above the rim, and there's 2 inches there. There's probably a 3-inch covering on this, and that's all that's left. Now you know where that's gone. There's only one place it can have gone. That's into that soil. Just making this soil better and better and better. I've used this soil year in, year out, year in, year out, year in, year out. And each year we put something back, don't we? We manage our soil, we do some soil maintenance. So I'm going to turn this out now, and I'm hoping that it'll be shot through with worms, because that's what I'm predicting, and that's what's happened in previous years. If the worms like it in here, they'll stay in here. If they don't like it in here, they'll crawl out, either over the top or through the holes in the bottom. That's why I'm terming it free range. Conventional vermiculture, the containments usually have lids on. The worms can't get out. Whether they like it or not, they're in there, they're incarcerated. This is free range vermiculture. This is winter composting. This is the first bucket off the rack. Let's tip it out, see what we've got. Well, I'm not too sure you can tell, but it is quite muddy, this soil, and it's muddy because it's rained a lot over the last week or two. Although the weather's fair now and we have a forecast for 4 or 5 dry sunny days, this is quite wet. Let's have a look at it. There's a worm. There's a worm. There's another worm. There's worms everywhere. Can you see them? There is worms everywhere. Yep. That soil is looking good. A bit wet, but hey, there's some life in there. But we're going to add some more life to this. I'm going to be sowing some shallots. I'll go indoors now and get those shallots, bring them out. But in the meantime, I'm going to post up some. Hey, look at this. There's baby worms in there. Wow, I don't know if you can see those. I hope you can. Can you see those? It's little white things, like a piece of cotton. So these worms are actually breeding in this bucket. How good is that? How good is that? these worms are breeding in the bucket. That tells you this soil's healthy. If it wasn't, the worms wouldn't breed, they wouldn't be in the bucket, they'd take off. That's probably mummy or daddy. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go indoors and get these shallots, and in the meantime I'm going to pop up some screenshots from a video I shot some time ago when I actually grew these shallots through until the end of the season. Then I think I took them as green onions. If you take them early, you can call them green onions. If you wait till the tops die back, as you would with an ordinary onion, then you call them shallots. They'll do both jobs. But hey, you'll want to have a go at this. Take a look at those screenshots, and at the end of the video I'll actually pin that video that those screenshots were taken from in this barra, and you can have a look at it from start to finish and make a decision as to whether you want to give this a shot or not. Right, you have a look at those. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we've got the shallots. This is Golden Gourmet. But you can get shallots from the supermarket if you like. Just be careful that if you do buy shallots from the supermarket that they're meant to be eaten, but you're going to grow them, make sure it says shallots on the packaging and it doesn't say baby onions, because they're totally different. Or you can send for some shallots. This is Golden Gourmet. I'm going to put 4 in a pot, but before I do that I'm going to add some onion fertiliser to this soil just to spark it up a wee bit. Okay, this is the onion fertiliser. It's a granular fertiliser. I like to add my fertiliser now and then it's just water from then on in, because the fertiliser's in there, and this soil has got all that goodness in it from the chop and drop that was on there for about 6 months and overwintered. It's now all in there. So I'm happy that we've got a good mix here, and this is going to produce me some great shallots or green onions later in the year. We'll just mix it up. Now we'll pop this back in the bucket. Okay, don't worry about your worms, they won't eat your shallots or your green onions. Okay, we're going to go with 4 shallots now. As you saw, these guys were sitting on some compost that I had indoors, so they're just starting to throw a few roots down. There's absolutely no need to do that stage, just stick your shallots in like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointy end up. Sure you know that, but I'll mention it anyway. Now then, because it's the spring of the year and the birds will be starting to nest shortly, they'll want to pull these out because they'll see this skin on the top that's breaking off as good nesting material, and they'll just pick these and pull them out if they can. So it's as wise to protect against that, and it's also wise to protect against the wind, and this is how I do it. Okay, 4 pop bottles topped and tailed and stapled together. You've seen these before, I know you've seen these before, and a couple of old rocket sticks. How's that? Perfect. Birds won't get them, and the wind won't blow those protectors off because we'll hold them in place with these rocket sticks. Hey, how easy was that? How easy was that? Okay, so we're up and running, so if you want to give this a go, give it a go. And I'm sure if you've already watched those screenshots, you'll be enthusiastic to do it, and you'll be even more enthusiastic to do it if you watch the video that I'm going to pin to this barra right now. This is Homegrown Veg signing out.